Hello there, Capricorn. My name's Frankie, and I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient medium, and an empath. This reading's going to be for Capricorn for May of 2017. What I've done here is I've pulled 4 cards for us for the month, and I'm going to use the bottom card on the deck for the overall view. Now we'll pull Angel card at the end of the reading to hopefully bring this all together for us. Now I don't believe these cards are going to go week by week because I just don't think it's going to work like that for me. I believe they'll blend in and out throughout the month. The other thing is because I'm an empath, I have a speech pattern. I'll speak as if I'm you, so all of us Capricorns out there are now named Frankie. So I'm not an astrologer, but so I looked up the astrology for us for the month. It's going to be in our 5th house, and it's children, objects of affection, romance, love affairs, freedom, leadership, your creative talents, your favorite activities, life's pleasures, recreation, hobbies, maybe vacations, stuff like that. And if any of you are more interested in the astrology for the month, I go look at Veroush, Veroosh. She does astrology. It's kind of simplified where I can understand it. And believe you me, I don't understand astrology. And she puts cards with it too. It's really a pretty reading. Anyhow, we have some words here for us, and I wanted to tell you, look at your moon sign and your rising sign also, because that will give you a more comprehensive view of the month, because these are just general readings. Now, Spirit's given us some words before we start, and they are peace, faith, humor, communication, and commitment. So it looks like we're going to need a lot of that communication and commitment thing there, Capricorn, because we got some interesting cards for this month. And our bottom card on the deck, and I believe one of the other signs got this, and I really shook these cards up before I laid them down, and it is the 3 of Swords. And that's the card of separation, breakups. It can be a card of divorce. It can be a card of broken heart. And sometimes to me, it can be also a card of like where a third party came into a marriage and broke up a marriage. But it's also a card of when we get this 3 of Swords, we kind of saw that this was coming. And a lot of times we don't, just because we saw it was coming, right, and we wanted to maintain peace, we just didn't really want to look into it or make the decisions about it. The other thing is this card, when I'm touching it, can be past lessons. Lessons learned for us the hard way, so if they're learned the hard way, they would be lessons that I would want to keep, because I always say it in the Bible or whatever religion you are, everybody's heard this saying. It says forgive and forget. But if I've learned a lesson, I don't forget the lesson. I forgive it. I move forward with it. I keep the lesson in a little box up in my head, Capricorn, so that I don't repeat it. I don't live it. I just keep it there because it maybe my experience or maybe the way I got over that experience may be useful for someone else that I encountered down the line somewhere. So forgiving it is appropriate because that serves ourselves. Forgetting it is inappropriate because then we repeat the lesson. So this card feels like for this month, I've learned the lesson. Why do I want to choose to continue to keep relearning the lesson? So if this is what we're doing, right, we might want to keep our sense of humor because that's one of our words. Keep some humor about it because looks like a pretty interesting month, Capricorn. Looks like things are going to rock and roll. Let me put it that way. Our next card here is the Five of Rods, Five of Wands in my old deck, but it's the Five of Wands. And when I look at this card, I think battle, like a fight. Sometimes you can feel it as if it's a mock fight, you know, like people pretending like they're arguing, things like that. Other times it can be a battle at work, because this is going to come down in different areas of each of our lives. So if I was looking at this Five of Wands and I was relating it to work, right, I would think of, I've got to up my game, because there are other issues that are coming up or around, right? And a lot of times with this, it can be the global marketplace, like with greed and all the things that go along with it. Maybe I need new skills. Maybe I have to step up to the plate, up my game. That's exactly what they keep saying to me, up my game. So I'd want to be really careful, you know, that with this too, that I'm not inviting fights or, you know, inviting the arguments, because our first word here is peace. And these cards, because this is a general reading, can work both ways. So Spirit's telling me with this, you know, if it would have to do something with a relationship that I'm in, and we have this Three of Swords, maybe I'm going into, maybe it's causing me strife and grief and arguments, and all I want is faith. I'd have to start thinking seriously, because I want that peace. I'm thinking, because I want that peace, thinking seriously about how do I once again establish faith in myself. So if it's in, the fight is at home, it's like avoid having the fights with my loved ones. If the fight is at work, do I have to, or am I competing with someone at work? Do I have to have some more skills? Do I have everything I need to have in my tool belt to do the job, so that I can come out of this and have faith I can come out of it, right, on top, or up on top, or back in the game. So it's kind of like a card of protecting myself, or deciding. What they're saying to me is decide to pick and choose the battles, right? That's how that's said. Pick and choose my battles, you know. Is something worth me arguing, fighting, you know, doing this competition or whatever? Or isn't it worth me arguing, fighting, whatever? Have I sometimes between these both things, and you know, if we aren't having a separation, this can be in family, it could be in friendships, it can be in direct love relationships, because this is in our fifth house, or love affairs. Is it, have I learned the lesson? Is it time to drop the battle if I really want peace, right? Or, and how am I going to communicate that? Because we have the word communication also. And I'm saying that because first priority is normally ourselves, but our next card here is the Fool, which shows me ourselves. Because this is the card of the hearing the beat of the different drummer in my head, the drummer that no one else can hear, but I can hear it, okay? It's the card that tells me I always say that, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. I'm listening to what I'm being told, and I'm not hearing anything else. And sometimes that's exactly what we have to do, Capricorn. And sometimes we're being asked with this Fool card to go within and evaluate if what we are hearing is our ego, or is it Spirit speaking to us. But if it is Spirit speaking to us, I'm going to make the commitment, right, to move forward and have faith in the fact that I can march to this different drummer. So maybe I'm competing, let's put it this way, I'm competing with someone at work, right? If I get a few more new skills, like to add to, or or if I don't need the skills and the other person doesn't have the skills, is there a way for me to show my boss, or to show the people that are around me or my boss that I am in the competition because I possess the skills that others don't? So only I can make that choice, only I can make that decision by going within and listening clearly. Is this spirit, right, telling me? This is the card usually where, oh, he has the little dog in this deck. He has his little tiny bag and he's gonna jump right off the cliff. Usually you can see him on the cliff, and this card you can't. He's gonna step right off because he knows he's right. Well, if I know I'm right, I'd be willing to take that jump. But if I evaluate and I think this is my ego, I might want to back up a little bit because we have a few other things, going on in here. So one of the things I want to say is I'd want to pay attention to any younger people around me. Really, like, pay attention to it, because we have the Page of Swords here is for our next card, and that can be a younger person, and the sword would be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or that kind of nature person. And as you can see, he's holding the sword, right, in his hand, and look at his face. I don't know if I can get the glare off of that for you, but look at his face. He's just really confident that he can defeat anyone because he has that sword in his hand. Well, sometimes that can be the overconfidence of youth. So usually when this sword comes at me like this, in this Page of Swords, I might think it's like risky behavior. Either I or someone that I know is doing risky behavior. It can be maybe my child or someone around me that would be of a younger mentality. Sometimes I think we see these page cards and we think young, and maybe it means immature mentality. And this can be me or someone else. This could be my child got in trouble with the law. It could be I didn't know, but my kids in college and they failed their exams because they weren't doing the homework, So sometimes with this also we have that lack of communication, because swords are mental cards. So remember, we have that communication card and that word in here to go with this. So if I think about this, is there someone that I need to, like, that I'm maybe having the fight with, that's acting in an immature way, or or if I'm acting in an immature way, am I like trying to justify the reasoning behind why I'm acting in an immature way? We'll know it if we go within and listen to the beat of the different drummer. Is it me, my ego, or is it spirit talking to me? So I want to really, when I find out some of the stuff I'm really thinking, when I go within, it's like, you will need that sense of humor. Trust me when I tell you that. But it can be something like that. This page brings like disconcerting news. If he's bringing it, it's like, oh crap, really? This happened again? Brings that unsettling, that type of news to you, or news that brings you strife. So maybe we want to use this past lesson to not experience this. It's a possibility, Capricorn, because it's just this real feeling of immaturity around it, okay? And if they're asking us to have faith, right, we could actually have faith or be being called to, is how they're saying, being called to display, like, if this is to do with work, maybe our executive ability or display our talents, you know, because maybe this other person's going to get the promotion that doesn't know as much as we do. That's a form of competition also with that five of rods, wands in there. But to make the commitment, because our next card is the Knight of Rods or Wands. And this card, actually, it can be, well, it can be male or female, so can the page, male or female, because these are general readings. When we have this card, it's a messenger card about something that is really good, you know, coming to us in our lives. Maybe we hear about someone getting engaged. Maybe we hear about a marriage, a wedding, a job promotion. What we know when we have this card is that because he holds the qualities, or he or she holds the qualities of the king and queen. So the king and queen would be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. That's honesty, loyalty, trustworthiness. So we would be sure that the message was a good message. It can be a good message about our work. It could be a good message about, maybe I was fighting with my boyfriend because I decided it's time to get married, and they said, not yet. You know, maybe with that Fool in there, I might want to consider, are they going to turn into this Knight here of Rods versus this little Page of Swords? That I would want to go in and check out for myself too, because of this card. These are lessons that are learned, is what Spirit's saying. And with this other one here, with this swords, this Page of Swords, they're saying don't spend your money carelessly too. It's like, hang on to your bucks. This is good news, good messages. It could be about social things, you know, and it also can be around career development also. Or it can be the message coming through a person with that Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius type personality also. But he's a good message. So have faith that once we get through this month, right? So, and he tells us also another thing. He says, Capricorn, be loyal, be dependable. Don't be this Page of Swords, you know, that you think there's an arrogance of the way he holds his sword here. Be loyal, be honest, be trustworthy, you know, when we step forward. Because we're very detail oriented. We are, you know, like, make sure everything's done right, or all the appropriate steps are taken. And he's telling us that we can't do that. But this one is telling us also that there must be something that's messing with it, kind of right now. So some of us might get some pretty surprising news here. The end result is it works out for us, you know. So we want to be the person that's loyal and dependable, and we don't want to invite this Five of Rods. We don't want to invite it into our life because we want peace. That was our first word. So what do we need to communicate, you know, to others around us, and to ourselves with that Fool card there? What do we want to commit to? I don't think any of us would want to, you know, and they're saying, you pay attention, or don't spend my money carelessly, okay? So if it's a kid in my life that's the Page of Swords, how many times before did I bail them out? It's like almost that simple. How many times before did I have faith in them, and then we ended up with this, you know? And if it's me, we reverse that. How many times did I think this was going to work out, but I didn't take the appropriate steps because my head went away from what Spirit was actually explaining to me? We all get in those kind of crisis and things like that during our lives, and they're saying it's really good if we will strengthen the bonds that we have with others, you know, really strengthen the bonds we have with others. Uh, this is life's pleasures. Don't pursue life's pleasures too vigorously this month. You know, a lot of us have been having really rough times, and a lot of it is like, a lot of this is going to kind of come at us out of the clear blue. It's like unpredictable things that could kind of turn our house up on end, or turn our household into chaos, you know, during this month. But if we handle those things, and the main thing is, if we want peace, we have faith, we use this Fool to go within, you know. So if anything that's unpredictable comes up and flies in our face, right, we are going to be really actually be prepared for it ahead of time. If you see it coming, you prepare for it. And if there's any card that allows us preparation, it's this Three of Swords. And I truly believe that will come out, you know, on top, you know, in the end, we are going to come out on top, even if things get shook up a little bit, okay? I think a lot of us were in that bumpy ride in April, and I feel like it's either it's leftovers coming in, or we haven't quite finished up whatever was causing that turmoil or whatever, but we're committed to doing that. So we commit in the way that's suitable for us with that Fool card. That's pretty basically what they're saying, you know. I think we're going to have the support to do that. I believe that we'll have the courage to, you know, courage also to be able to do that. They're saying that word courage too. So it must be important to us, you know, because a lot of times if we're going through a lot of bad stuff, you know, we don't want to live it, but we want to, you know, like use it to our advantage. Because if Source or whatever gave us those experiences, no matter how bad they were given to us for a reason. And it's usually so we step away before we repeat it, like a repetitive pattern. Well, I guess they weren't kidding about the forgive and the forget. It says, let the past go. Let your past go. Pretty interesting, huh, Capricorn? It says the burden of, whoops, can't read in here. It's dark in here today. The burden of, can't even read it with my glasses off. The burden of carrying your past around has made you weary, dear one. It's time to set the burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love, and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and now it's gone. That's quite interesting. That's how they explain this to us. We don't want it or need it, and now it's gone. We forgive it. Don't forget it, or we'll repeat it. That is quite, you can't make these things up, can you? That's quite interesting card. They really weren't kidding us. Like I said, it'll come down in each one of our lives in a different area. But it looks as if this is something we're going to go through. So use that Fool card to your benefit. That's what I would go within. Use that Fool card to discern whether this is something, you know, that my ego is telling me, or is it something that Spirit is truly telling me. It's going to be important, okay? It says, you received this card because your thoughts and feelings about the past are holding you back. You're repeating a pattern because of unfinished emotions from your past. This card is a sign to forgive and move on, to stop the painful patterns. It doesn't mean you need to be with the person you've forgiven. There you go. Nor do you have to be the person either, okay? It says, it doesn't mean that you need to be with the person you've forgiven. It simply means that you've let toxic feelings go in exchange for what? Peace. I told you, Capricorn. Approach a new situation. These are the alternative meanings. Approach a new situation or a relationship with positive expectations. Avoid routines. Speak to a counselor or support group, or forgive those who've hurt you and forgive yourself. The worst is now behind you. Keep your thoughts about this situation high and bright. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Look at them with a sense of humor. Well, Capricorn, that's our reading for May, and I want to tell you all, thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes, and I want to thank you for the comments. I really appreciate them. I read each and every one, even though I don't get a lot of time to write y'all back. And to all of you that just want to know more about me, all the information's down below the screen. Or if anyone wants to set an appointment with me, all the information is down there, is there at the website to be able to do that. And to all of you that I've met through doing these readings for this, it's been over a year now, I can't believe it. And to all of you that I've met doing readings for 28 years, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve you all. I have an excellent job, and I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to serve you. So hopefully, Capricorn, I will be back here next month. Bye-bye.